Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Talking Skritt. I'm your host John, better known as Dan around the X-Men, and we have a fantastic show for you. It's Boss Week, the Skyscale preview on Guild Chat, and the War Eternal patch confirmed for May, and much more. But first, let me introduce you to my fellow host. He's a moderator over at MMO Champion and host of Zero to Hero, and also Vote to Kick, and also Florida Man on this.
Other miscellaneous things.
Yeah, we're growing stuff. So, with it being May the 4th, we have nothing to fear because he is one of our Guardians of the Galaxy, but is secretly a mild-mannered family guy. Say hello to Jim.
Hi. It's been a while since Guardians was in the title. Good job.
I couldn't pass it up with the whole May the 4th thing. I was like, oh, this works perfectly.
Well, May the 4th be with you.
And to you. And he streams over on Twitch where he answers the age-old question. With the War Eternal trailer dropping, what if the title is meant to be an update of a never-ending battle and is the last Guild Wars 2 update ever? Say hello to Age.
Yes, but you'll have to wait. You'll have to wait for it. Let the hate consume you.
Well, you picked the perfect people, the internet, for that.
Hi, guys. Happy May 4th. May the 4th be with you.
And also with you.
This is like, literally, there's only 2 times in the year that I can break this out, so I'm just going to break it out.
Or you could just be like me and have the knockoff Snuggie. Yeah.
I would have grabbed my cloak, but it's really too hot for that thing. It's heavy as hell.
If you go grab it, I'll go grab mine, and it's a thick blanket thing, and we'll do it for May the 4th. Come on.
No.
Come on. Oh,
I'm sorry.
right.
I can't.
I tried, chat. I tried. But, this last week, they dropped the teaser trailer for War Eternal. They kind of gave us a, little snippet of a scene from, when was that? When they went to EGX London, I think, or something like that?
I think it was Res.
Res London. But yeah, now we got a trailer, and I can show you right here. We got it. But yeah, they tweeted out on April 30th, and all they're showing off, and you can see it in here, the new mount, the Skyscale, which we've known about, the new Greatsword Legendary, which we were all pretty sure, since that is the last legendary that we need, but you get to see it here, Exordium, and a new armor set, the Mist Shard armor. But they didn't really give us an official release date. They gave us basically telling us it is going to come out in May, sometime in May. So it might be tomorrow, probably not. But
it's tomorrow's Sunday, but okay.
That would be weird.
Would that be surprising?
I mean, that's true. Yeah. I'll make the great sword. That's all I got.
No, really? You're gonna make the new legendary?
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't know this was a thing, but I saw a lot of people saying it when they were showing off the legendary, was you can craft the legendary components for the single-handed weapons and transmute them in the Mystic Forge for the two-handed. It costs a little bit. I think they said it costs a little bit more in the T5 mats, but you're saving a lot of T6. Like you're still saving money supposedly because you're not spending it all on T6 mats. But I don't know. Hearing that, I was like, that's kind of like meh. Oh, offhand's chat is saying.
Okay.
One-handed weapons are generally cheaper than two-handed when it comes to crafting them. It's because they require more. They require not just only like it's not necessarily the T5, T6 mats. It's more of the elderwood and the mithril that you'll need, because there's more that goes into it. Because the Mystic Curios are always the same amount to make, but in terms of the legendary item that you need to first buy off of a vendor, and then you have to craft it with more mithril and elderwood and a Mystic Curio, depending on what type it is. So if it's a one-handed or two-handed, it'll cost more with the two-handed. T5 and T6 are relatively the same. Everything else is relatively the same.
And I do see chat saying that, and I've heard this, is some people are thinking maybe the 21st, because I think that is when the last and we'll talk about it later. I know we talked about last week, but it's a continuous thing. This
Yeah.
this basically this pack that you get stuff every week if you and it's cheaper the earlier buy into it. But and I believe, like Chad is saying, it's supposed to end on the 21st, so would be still in that wheelhouse of
Yeah.
on the in May.
I don't know. I don't know if they let us leave us hanging that long after dropping the teaser trailer.
It's there's going to be an actual trailer, I think, sometime
Right,
next week or the week after.
I don't think we've ever had that much time in between, because this is the format they've been using for all of the season for the teaser, or at least for like the past 2 or 3 episodes. But it's never been that long, because that would make it what, almost a month after the teaser dropped.
I mean,
3 weeks.
it's not too bad.
3 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's because we have Boss Week that's this week. We'll talk about it later. And then there might be another event that's coming, I think. And then we have probably a trailer somewhere in between there.
And I was to say, and I kind of agree with, and I think that's what Age is kind of hitting upon, and like what Chad is saying, of that's the one thing that's kind of missing from this trailer is that we've seen in other trailers. Maybe they don't do it, but there isn't that like story element kind of teasing you to come in. So we might still see another trailer, which I mean would be nice since this is like the grand finale of trying to generate more hype. But
I kind of don't want one, or like I don't want to know a lot about this episode, because I kind of want to just go in and see what happens after give it all or nothing.
well, I mean, do the other ones really give a lot away? I mean, it kind of just tells you like what the overarching concept is going to be. Like the other ones were like, we're going after Joko.
Yeah, I know. I kind of don't want to know. I kind of
Oh,
just want to. I kind of just want to go in blind for this one.
Well, to be fair, what if it just started and it just had our guy or our player character? I guess they'd have to use the default one they use all the way through, and it just goes, I don't know. Like it ended with, and that's it. That's the story we get.
Is it weird that I kind of want some kind of variation of like the crap? What were the giant spaceship machines in Mass Effect? The Reapers. Like the weird ass noise that they made. It's like I kind of just want the trailer to just like that scene change, and it's just like a quick jump cut of like everything before a huge battle, and then War Eternal date.
Yeah,
now, I did
I could go
break up in the trailer. I kind of slowed down and broke up like each of the sections they showed off, because like we said, it didn't really have story stuff. It just kind of showed off, like you can see here, like this is kind of the Skyscale stuff, which I could probably show off more when we're talking about it on the Go chat that they talked more about. You can kind of see it in better slow motion, which it'll be better to show off then because there's not too much
Arc.
to see from the trailer. But the legendary sword, I'm sure people want to kind of see in slow motion, the great sword, because boy howdy is that thing fancy and detailed.
Let's talk about my 20th legendary.
Humble brag.
A humble brag.
It
really is humble. There's people that have more. This thing is probably mostly like Mesmers are gonna go for this. I feel like it has that kind of flair about it, but like anyone can use it, obviously. I think like this effect here, where it like has the circles spiraling at the base and at the tip of the blade, it's actually really cool. So I'm really looking forward to this one.
That animation though, with the channeling, isn't that Mesmer unique?
Yeah, it's like
I think they're doing it on a Mesmer, which there are legendary, like the legendaries do unique effects on certain like the skills. So I mean, maybe that's just the
actually, I don't know. It could like the little wisp at the back could be part of the legendary stow animation. Like Yeah, you see like the little particles coming off of the right arm.
Hmm.
I think that's part of the legendary itself. So, um, and the thing is like this great sword kind of had to compete with like Sunrise and Twilight and
Sunrise,
Eternity.
Twilight, and Eternity. Yeah, like it
Yeah,
has to
so
compete with quite possibly one of the most iconic. Like, oh, what's a legendary in Guild Wars 2? And you show them Eternity. And it's just,
yeah, so I think it definitely contends. There's always going to be the people who will think like the other one's better, and that's obviously a choice. But uh,
Mm,
I think it's definitely like up there.
okay. Chat is saying that devs have hinted at that the classes that can use it will have different effects. So
Oh,
that's
that's
pretty
cool.
cool.
well, it's basically telling you that that'll be like that because that animation is Mesmer unique, and I don't think that the rings appearing around it would be very conducive to any other class. So
Yeah, that's true.
not, and that's not even just me talking about, oh, how can the blade cut if it's got rings around it? It's like, no, it's just I don't think that animation would look good for any other class using it. So
Yeah, because it seems like a channel ability.
mhm.
So any great sword that channels, I guess. Um, oh, Reaper might actually be pretty cool. It might have some cool things there. Um, what else? Who else uses greatsword? Uh,
Guardian.
Warriors can be fun. Guardian could be fun as well. Um, because of the 5 skill in particular, I think. Uh, what else? What else? What else? Ranger. Um, Ranger might be interesting too, depending on how they do the bear maul thing.
Puts the rings around the bear's arms, like "Arr."
Yeah. Uh,
Almost everything. Not thief though.
Thief doesn't get
Ain't
it.
that right, Age? Not thief.
You think that annoys me though? I'm still making it. Just-
I don't know.
uh,
Greatsword Thief would be kind of interesting.
yeah. Engineer doesn't use it. Elementalist doesn't use it. But I think
And
everyone
Revenant
else.
doesn't.
Oh, Revenant doesn't. Yeah. But everyone else does. Yeah.
But do you think kind of like how we've had like the Shining Blade and like some of the other like kind of being like introduced or like used in the story itself? Do you think that this is going to be a part of the story or not like the acquisition of it, of course, but maybe
Um.
we get like are able to use the real version, but the legendary is the
Every. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was thinking like it would be interesting if like the hook was there, but I don't remember any of the other legendaries being hooked into the story. I
the one that like I said stands out the most to me was just the Shining Blade. It's like,
like I
oh yeah,
yeah,
we're named after an actual Shining Blade. It's like, oh, okay.
it's like it's a literal artifact weapon. Here, you want it?
Yeah.
Um,
So, well, from my experience, it's whenever they add new legendary to a story, it's gonna be themed to that story, in a way.
Well, and I was gonna say the Claw of Connor is lore specific, but I don't think when it released was it very much integral
Um.
to the
I don't
story when it
remember it.
released.
Which patch
Yeah.
was that? Because I don't remember it mentioned at
That might have
all.
been when we first discovered the other char, but which so there's a loose connection to it, but it wasn't like here.
Yeah.
This is representative of our like.
Oh, is this
Oh, it was during the Istan one. Okay, I wasn't sure which one, but
Release with Living World Episode 2: Bug in the System.
if the Claw of the Connor was
So
bugging
yeah.
the system?
No.
That's when we
Yeah.
went to the Olmecon village.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So it's fine. Yeah. So there's like there's a relation to the story, like some element of the story, whether it be like you get a branded weapon. There's like the light focus base weapon, char weapon type of deal. There's just like some connection in some way to the story. Not like lore wise, but like just maybe.
Yeah, that's honestly the everything after Chuka and Champawat, I feel like was just kind of tossed in the game. It feels like
So I'm wondering if the name itself is also giving us a hint, because we got the War Eternal title going on. You know, people, I know we last time talked about the Eternal War is a thing in Guild Wars 2 with, you know, Balthazar, who we recently had to deal with, and his brother. His brother that I know everybody gets mad every time I name him, so I'll just, you know. But the title or the name of, and I was looking it up just in case, but the name Exordium basically means the beginning or introductory part, especially of discourse or treatise. Which, I mean, at the point that we're at right now, like, maybe, like, yeah, of course, this is more than likely going to open up towards, since we know it's going to go into, we know it's going to go into season 5 and not another expansion.
Mhm.
It's going to kind of leave at a, I don't know, kind of different cliffhanger, I would say. But it's definitely seems like if this is any kind of hint, I'm leaning more towards we're going to probably see more discourse than probably a settle of happiness and belonging.
Well,
with the
it
spot
really
that we're
depends. It really depends how the story ends, right?
Oh yes, but I'm just saying from where we're at right now with, you know,
Oh yeah, there's probably a lot of discourse, confusion.
and already the destruction that has taken place. It's like I think we're down a road that's not going to be happy by the end of this episode. It's just my feeling.
Yeah, because it's right now. Like when we go to the,
I mean, are we going to try to avoid spoilers? It's been plenty of time, and I know.
Oh,
I finished it. It's good.
Yeah. I just remembered we still have that third story to come out from Rocks, right? To read out.
But well, it's going to be Kaith, right?
Oh, Kaith, or was it Kaith?
I think the outline looks like Kaith.
I forgot the outline. But it's gonna be more linked to the Discord is gonna be linked to like I'm not sure what to do right now because you thought going like for Ritlock and it was what was her name? The sniper from POF.
The Zaishin sniper. I always forget her name.
But you guys know who I'm talking about. They're trying to find Saphira. Thank you. So they were trying to find like their purpose in life, and they thought like this was it. This was the thing that they were supposed to do, and now that they're kind of feel kind of stuck, confused, not sure how to move forward. So I feel like that's where we're at in terms of discourse. It's like, what do I do? Do I stay? Do I continue this fight where it seems lost? This is going to be all the interesting things that are coming in. This is kind of why I don't want a trailer. I don't want to know what's going to happen. So like if a trailer drops, I'm probably going to skip it, honestly. And you know, if it comes up in show, I'll just like, you know, not look.
I was just gonna say that's gonna make it for an awkward show.
Yeah. No, I can just have chat open. It's fine. But I'm pretty excited to see how well in terms of Legendary being kind of like a new start. It makes me think we might beat Krakatork, but I don't know how, or it's gonna like world reset thing. I don't know.
I would say I could potentially see us defeating Krakatork or greatly wounding him or something of some sort, but I think the damage he already did might be irreversible, and kind of accompanying with the other thing that we have that they showed us, which was where is it, the armor, and how it's basically called the Mist Shard armor. Like
it's really nice.
Oh yeah, and you can kind of see him here. Like, it looks like the first one they shown was the light, and the second one was the medium, and this is all guessing. And the third one was, sorry, I meant heavy, medium, light. But
like the I really like the armors. I kind of
I like how they don't show like below the belt for the medium.
yeah. I kind of like. I kind of want the headpieces to be interchangeable because.
That's a lot of wishful thinking.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah, I can't say like
Because I would want that on my on like on my thief, like just for a little bit, like just covering the eyes bit, and if it's related to heavy,
the heavy helm is pretty cool.
yeah, we get a new trinket with the ending of
I
this.
don't think they've said anything about that.
Yeah, I'll say I know that's been a lot of other people's questions is because of the last season we had, we kind of got an overarching trinket that was like, oh, if you go back and do like these metas and these events and these
Yeah,
things, you can get a collection to get the legendary. Was it
it
amulet? There
is.
was Aurora.
Yeah,
But
it
people were
was
hoping
a
another accessory piece.
it was a earring.
Was it an earring? Okay, I wasn't 100. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Wait,
I don't know. All those spots, I just kind of I'm like, it just goes in that slot. Like I don't even pay too much attention to.
yeah, no earring, earring. It
Okay.
was the four orbs. Yeah, so earring. Um, the thing is, if you are assuming, like, if you go with the assumption that there's a new trinket, you could do like a bit of pre-prepping now, like just getting your achievements done and things like that. If you look on the wiki, they probably have mapped out what you need for the last trinket, so you can take out all the things that you would need for this trinket without, actually crafting all the one-way things, so that if it doesn't come out, you're not screwed. So that's what I'd be doing. Actually, I should do that. That's a lot of grinding. But
And then it's completely different. It's a completely new recipe, and everything you did is for naught.
I don't think so, because like I would reuse it just because it's just something easier to do. The thing that a lot of people are talking about is the legendary ring from raids, because there were a few drops that you needed from the various wings, and when the next raid drops after this episode, they're gonna assume that maybe another piece will be needed, and you can maybe actually craft it now. So. Uh,
I see chat saying it. The medium chest piece reminds them of Viper's armor, which I'm looking up as a
yeah,
refresher. And yeah, I can definitely see it kind of has that almost cross sash type thing going on, or at least it looks like it the way they're posing.
yeah. I wonder
Not
if
as
the look.
spiky.
Yeah.
It looks like it's Skyscale hide for all of the
Yeah,
pieces.
it definitely does have that scaly look to it, which I did see chat saying earlier that what if we had to skin a certain familiar of ours, which that would hurt. I don't care if they make that legendary. I don't know if I could do that.
I wonder if the male version's different in terms of the chest and like.
That is a good point because yeah, they're only showing off the female.
Yeah. Because like honestly, I think female armor always looks good in this game, and then we go to male variant. It's like hit or miss. Mostly hit, but sometimes it's like
That human female meta.
Yeah. But I'm excited to see what. Going to try to actually do some of the achievements beforehand, getting to this one, and then making some of the armor. Oh, do you think we'll need like expensive runes or something like that, like from the last one?
I sure as heck hope not.
Yeah, I hope they would have learned their lesson. If it does require runes, not to make them ones that are really hard to obtain.
Just make a character every week, level it to 64.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the intent of going after high level gear, making a bunch of low levels. It's like,
Oh no, I level them to 64, then they're high level.
Well, I know they say endgame starts at level 1, but that would be kind of pushing that kind of.
Endgame starts at 10:30
catchphrase.
for me.
And they're saying, chat's also saying the heavy phalanx armor chest piece looks a bit like the medium new armor.
I like phalanx.
Phalanx has a lot
I was
more.
saying that's one of the ones that we try to
close to the
suggest
neck.
all the time when it comes in.
It's one of my favorite chess pieces.
It's a very versatile piece.
Oh, human female. I will admit I've never put it on a female character. Oh, yeah. Wow, that is completely different from what I'm used to seeing.
Let me see.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that is different. I forgot about that. But it's still pretty good. I swapped the helm, I think.
But, I mean, any other thoughts on the War Eternal teaser trailer? I mean,
Getting people hyped.
I'm looking forward to it.
can't wait. It sounded like you like. Let's take bets. What day do you think it's gonna come out? Like in the month of May, and so the Tuesday releases, because that's probably the safest bet, would be the 7th, the 14th, the 21st, or the 28th. And I saw chat was thinking the 21st.
I'm going with 21st. Just because we have Boss Week next week, and I still think they're going to drop a story trailer either next week or the week after. And I think they'll also drop a second event, because I remember reading about that. So that kind of that lines up pretty nicely. So I'm going to say 21st.
I want it to be the 14th because I feel like 21st is a little too long, but will we even get a date? Probably. I mean, once they release the story trailer, that usually ends with like the title, like the end card is just the episode title and then the date. So
I'm gonna go for the 14th slightly because I'm hopeful, but also kind of going a little bit further with the logic that chat was saying about, you know, the thing we were talking about later, the package deal that you can get is going to end on the 21st. But what would be a good business idea? Getting a lot of people interested in the game to go in, and there was that bundle there.
Yeah, I think the bundle will still be there.
1 week left. Oh, I don't know. Did they say that? Or?
The bundle, I don't see why not. It'd just be at max price by then.
mm-hmm.
Okay, because I know week of the May 14th it was going to be.
Yeah, they remove a bit of the discounts every week.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know if it was only staying up for that 4 weeks or.
Yeah, that's another question, but I would imagine it could stay there because you still get a lot of good stuff in there.
Well, if that's the case, then I could see 21st and maybe the 28th if something bad happens. But I still like the idea of, if it is only there for the 4 weeks, I could see it being the 14th just to get butts in the seats to possibly see that at the best price for them at least. But we will definitely talk more about that in the gem store section. But yeah, so to kind of delve deeper into the Skyscale, keep that hype train rolling. They had a guild chat this past Friday. It was with, of course, Ruby, who's the host. Joel Helmick, the gameplay programmer / designer. I feel like I don't know. I think every time I watch it, he's always on there. But I think it's because he implements so many things and like, I don't know. He seems like the person that kind of jumps around to different things, because it's like one day he's doing the mount stuff, the other day, like I still remember when he was doing the action combat cam and stuff like that. But also Kate Failshifter. Did I say that right?
I said the pronunciation there.
Yeah, and I said the other part correct. Is it Fiel?
Schefter.
Okay. I do apologize, Kate. Creature art lead. And so they basically were talking more about the Skyscale and all that fun stuff. But
Uh, I kind of just want to use it to hover in the air.
that's my that's my thing with it. Is I'm kind of curious because if you haven't watched the guild chat, I mean, they kind of just show the hovering of it and stuff like that, but we'll just kind of show you the Skyscale stuff because it kind of shows it off like better up close from the trailer. But yeah, they were basically saying that they wanted to design the Skyscale was designed to be a dragon your character could ride, whereas other mounts have been designed around their movement first, which I don't know, slightly makes me kind of worried that now they're just adding mounts into Adam. Like, we really need that in-game radial dial for our mounts.
This is like the looking mount, not the movement mount.
I kind of agree with Pears. Why didn't it get the hummingbird skin instead? But
there's still
it
time.
can. There's still time.
Actually, no. I literally just want a helicopter skin.
I
Like,
just
they call it a helicopter. I literally just want a helicopter skin.
and I
And they said the
need
design was based off of a cross between like crocodiles and cobras, which if you definitely look up close to it, like the scaling of it, and like you can definitely see the cobra-esque to it.
I need a flight of the Valkyries with this.
Dun, da, 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 da.
Just like a bunch of them just flying like across. It'd be glorious. Oh my
Just saying,
goodness.
charcopter. See, now that they have all these, because I think we even talked about it, like with the roller beetle, you could have like the or no, we were saying for like you could have like a char cycle or something, like some of the old siege ones that you saw in like ore and stuff like that. Like, I'd like to see like a char mount theme pack that's all the industrial.
Here's so Megan says hopefully this last mount. I think they're just trying to add masteries that people can use, not like outside of the map that they're intended on. Because if you look at last season, there was the Vine one in Draconis Moans is a perfect example. You can only use it there.
And the guild hall.
Yeah, or your guild hall.
But not anywhere else. And I would like to be Spider-Man everywhere, if possible. So,
yeah.
Or Vine Man.
Well, you can definitely stick to walls with this guy.
Yeah, which is I think is a very interesting mechanic. It's I think there's going to be a lot of testing. There's might be a few breaks in some places, but it's an interesting mechanic as well.
It's going to be interesting to see how well people like if people will just latch onto a wall or just hover somewhere, and if they're just going to use that to AFK places.
I was say that's my one worry. I think they made a joke of like you could just literally latch on the wall in Lion's Arch. My worry is, and it kind of gets into some of the mechanics of it, is basically when you see it, you're gonna have the endurance bar that you kind of see like on all the mounts that is like your dodge mechanic, but you get a secondary that on top of that kind of looks like a defiance bar, like the same color and stuff, but it's what they call the flight juice.
Flight juice.
But
growing Dragon's Crave.
Juice.
Yeah, but basically you like Jim was saying, like a helicopter, you go straight up from the ground, but right there, wherever you start at, it creates a column of that's like the height, like the amount of space that you can fly up in between from the ground and up air. But if you try moving outward, I think they call it a canopy. It slowly descends, so you're not constantly being able to like flying mounts in like WoW or something where it's just, you're pretty much free to just kind of go straight. This actually takes some, thinking and planning. You slowly descend and then you can just jump back up, and that kind of resets your flight juice or flight bar. Yeah, but my one worry is kind of like what we're saying is, since they can latch onto walls, which is one of the later skills that they have, but in the sense of like, I'm just imagining Lion's Arch, some people are already saying bad enough with some of the mount skins and stuff like that are high pixels and high graphics and effects, it's already lagging Lion's Arch. Now, what if someone just hits the spacebar one time and is just hovering above the ground? So now we have animation, the effects, and all that stuff. And
Lion's Arch has always been a lag pit. There's literally nothing that we can do about that. We've complained about this before the first expansion even dropped. We complained about this before Lion's Arch was even blown up. It's just,
I think
if it's going to be the hub of the game, it's going to be laggy. It's just how it is. It's that way for every MMO that ever existed.
You might need a mount slider, honestly, at this point. Like the same with character sliders. I don't know if character sliders apply to mounts, but if not, we might need like a separate one.
It's honestly the easiest thing I could do is toggle base models on. It's like if you literally don't care to see the skins, toggle base models on.
Yeah. If this is the last minute, what do they do next season without expect to introduce new mechanic?
Well, they've also talked about how the seasons could, like, they were slightly hitting back on that idea. Like they originally said about living story seasons before they did an expansion was, oh, we can make these expansion like content, and they started to hit that talk more about that again after all the shake up and all that stuff of the season. So who knows, we might see them drop a new feature of some sort.
Honestly,
or like, now that the mastery system's in, it can very much easily be, you know,
the only thing that's been different between, say, Path of Fire and this is 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes. The only thing that's been different between Path of Fire and Season 4 is the fact that Path of Fire released all at once and Season 4 has been releasing over time. That's it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they could totally just call a season basically an expansion and just be like, elite specs, new mastery system, new area.
Yeah.
It's not,
which I greatly don't think there's going to be elite specs, but I could easily see a master, like a new mastery.
No. Mastery, like a new non-mount mastery is very possible. It's just coming up with different ideas and like throwing them on the table. And
they have also explored the idea of giving us mount skills on top of like just generic skills that we can use while mounted. So that's, I mean, we have what, the 6 and the 7? We have 2 mount skills.
Yeah.
And like the utility slot while mounted at this point. How would they monetize that though?
I think that was in response to chat saying no more X packs, which, I mean,
they'd monetize the game the way they've always been monetizing the game.
Well, I was gonna say, I think the War Eternal pack might be them trying to test different ways too of early adopting for a bundle of items.
Yeah, there's been a lot of testing of different marketing and sales. So
X packs are actually terrible for making money.
Like, yeah, it's just a boost, honestly.
It's just a spike. It's not guaranteed revenue. And that's what people want. Like, that's what any company that is working in a system where they have an ongoing service they have to maintain, they don't want spikes in revenue. They want constant revenue. They don't mind if the constant revenue is below the spikes as long as the average net keeps the service running and keeps the business profitable. That's all they really care about. Yeah. X packs are actually terrible.
If NCSoft wants a spike, then yeah, maybe they'll make an X pack. But like, I don't see the need to make one right away. And
that could be why they're also holding off on a season, being like maybe they're testing these waters and seeing if X packs are really needed. Because I think what people see is always on those charts, when an X pack launches, yeah, you do see the uptick. But I think what also is more damaging, because you always see it fall further than it was previously. But I think that's not for everyone, but partially due to, it's like, yeah, my friends that left the game, come back, look at all this cool stuff, and because people are used to the X packs, the commercials, the hype around it.
Yeah,
but that makes it more likely for your friends to come back and go, yeah, I'm done with it. I'm gonna go back to this game. You should come too. And it's like, oh, I guess I will go. And then they actually just lost 2 people instead of gaining 1 person, potentially. But
it's a double-edged sword, yeah.
And I'm not saying that's every single person, but that I've seen that happen where people get dragged out of a game that they were content with because they brought friends in. Weirdly, but
Well, that's the thing though, is that literally happened. Like there was an uptick with the War Claw. So I honestly think it's more.
It's
I
can
think
see.
it's more us than them. Honestly, it's like the market, like the people playing the game are like, "Where's the expansion? Where's the expansion? There's no new content. Where's the expansion?" They've been giving you new content. It's just not all in a giant block. Just play the game and you get the new content.
Yeah, but I can also see it from the X point of view, just because with POF, when they introduced mounts, like that was the highlight of the expansion when new people came in. It's like, oh, mounts are really great. Mounts are awesome. There was that one YouTuber, for Lazy Peon, like he tried playing Guild Wars multiple times, and like when he actually really got in, it was like Path of Fire and the mounts. So and no, and that includes like Ultimate. So it's like getting people in, and that uptick in revenue may also result in an uptick of people staying around, and that means your sustained revenue kind of gets a little bit bigger ideally. So
how much was that Path of Fire and how much was that mounts though? Like they could have literally just said, "We added mounts. Here's what they look like."
But I was gonna say I kind of agree with like what Chad is saying, like because I've heard this with the Heart of Thorns and all that stuff is outside of the gaming, like general gaming population, when you hear expansion, people look more towards it than another living story update. Like, and we've seen that with season 1 and 2. Unfortunately, it was.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Pear there. As long as they can hype up the big feature updates, like if they were to introduce something like mounts, something to the caliber and size of mounts in just an update, as long as they could get the word out, yeah, I'm cool with that.
And I mean,
that won't get me in the game though. I don't think that'll get me in the game. You could do that in Final Fantasy, though. Like that's not going to be a drive for me to play Final Fantasy. Like I'm hearing about this new expansion that they're making, and I kind of want to take a look at it. Like that's kind of like I see that perspective more off and working than just like a feature like that. I don't see how to hype it up as much.
I don't know. I just remember all like the WoW release things. Like people are like, "Oh yeah," cheer for like, "Oh, we're going to here," and but like when they say like, raising the level cap, woo, then it's like introducing, paladins for the like that. Like when they see features like that, that's when you start hearing the people cheer. So I kind of agree with like Malthanis and like what Chad is saying is like, I think mounts could have driven a lot of people to the game, whether it was inside or outside of an X pack. I think it was probably good to have it in an X pack when they're doing it, because it is a double whammy of you have the people that are interested in the expansion type people that will give it a try again, and mounts that generally keep people, so it was a bigger hit. But I'm just wondering, does Guild Wars 2 have any more of these aces up their sleeve of what don't they have that other MMO players love about a game, which one thing was the mounts. Even though,
wait, can you say that again?
What can Guild Wars 2 introduce that can pull people away from other games that it doesn't have already?
I mean, Heart of Thorns, it was like, we are bringing you raids, and everybody's like, raids, okay, I know that from other games, I'm gonna go play yours and try it out. Kept people. And now POF, mounts, hey, that's something from other games that I collect in World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy or this or that. And now I'm going to go there. What else feature could they introduce?
Easy. Housing.
Player housing. Or an overhaul of the guild system.
Housing will bring people in so much.
Also, if they ever put elite specs on the gem store, I'm out. Like, Like if
I'll
it's
fi-
not
it's not gonna ever happen.
like if it's a big feature, like I'll admit like Rift did it, but Rift just said, we're just giving you all the content for free and you have to buy the new specs and that's it. But you could earn the money in game to do that. So I suppose you could do the same thing for Guild Wars 2, but like
You don't wanna.
I don't think like that is literally buying power, because that's the problem with elite specs so far in Guild Wars 2 is the massive power spike that would occur because of it. We're not ready for new elite specs anyway. Balance
Yeah,
isn't
I was gonna say.
No
Inks,
more X.
they're not getting rid of the Black Lion chest, so they're
They
getting
just-
money out of you anyway.
They just need to put more minis.
More dice.
Well,
So they get
the same thing they've always been: outfits, weapon skins, Black Lion chests, mount skins. Literally the same thing they've been doing to get money out of you this entire time.
but minis for specifically inks, I think.
Oh, okay.
For the completionists inside of him.
But yeah, they just keep monetizing it the way they've been monetizing it.
And
yeah. Honestly, depending on the new features that they add, like when I remember when they said, "Hey, mounts," and we're just like, "Yeah, they're gonna have mount skins."
It's more like what they're trying a whole bunch of different bundles and things like that. It's more about finding the things that people enjoy buying, while also like not nickel and diming them.
Yeah,
and also generating revenue at the same time. It's like a bunch of things you have to keep in mind. So they're not necessarily going to be aiming for everyone to satisfy everyone in the jump store, but just enough people so that they can actually make profit. Or people who will on the game.
I mean, and I know they're different types of games, but kind of using a similar system of Warframe is they come out with new frames, which are basically like a different like spec or type thing, a different way to play the game.
Yeah, I've been.
You either have a pretty difficult grind ahead of you for certain parts or certain things, or doing a series of quests, or you can buy it outright in their cash shop. I mean,
I'm buy it. I can't wait for Prime Vaults all the time. But when it changes and I don't have that frame, I'm just gonna buy it. Also, because I also get the weapons as well, so I don't have to craft those.
Well, I mean, it could be that median of what like Chad is saying of how are they going to make money off of people, because in the end it is a business. It's but I mean, that could be one avenue of this elite spec is in here, but you can go on this crazy epic journey that might have really tough things to grind out. If you have the time to do it, you can get it for free.
See, I was thinking about it and I was like, if you include player housing, for example, and then you have scribing also work in terms of housing, and you include like little nuances in the jump store that you could put in your house, like I think that would be a nice little boon for them, because it kind of covers a little bit. I don't know if people would like housing items in the gem store, but we have chairs, and like there's only like what 2 you can get in the game, and the rest are in the gem store. So,
but I mean, you're talking about the chairs making money out of the gem store. We were talking about mount skins, which going back to that, we strayed really far away from the guild chat where they were sitting in chairs while they were checking out the mount.
Wow.
Hey, I had to figure out some way to get back. Because we didn't even talk about like we talked a little bit about the flight juice and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, we talk about the skins, even like that Skyscale is going to have. What do you think?
Well, I mean, they just showed it died off. I don't think that was actual skins, was it?
No, like what do you think the skins will be for it?
Well, I could see the hummingbird thing. It'd be a little weird because I think the flapping wings are slower.
You think we're gonna have that Arene skin?
Doubtful.
I
could see a branded skin, but I don't think they'd give us an Arene skin.
Yeah, I can see all the ones that they gave the Griffin or the Griffin and the Rock Beetle, all the similar ones that they gave to the base ones, but I was trying to think of any.
$35 Arene skin. I mean, we were just asking the question of how could they make money off people.
But I don't know. I know one of the things that when they showed this off, me and Aaron were having a small debate on Twitter. Is like, how is the Springer even going to be worthwhile? And it's just like, yeah, the Springers are getting a buff. Their charge speed increased.
Yeah, so their endurance meters recharges faster, but I still think it's like how much of a use
it replaces it at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say how much of a use you're gonna find outside of it, outside of that map, as just a gimmick.
For what?
So let's say I want to get on a cliff that both the Skyscale and the Springer can get to up to. So this is going to be, so let me put this here. So it's going to be, this is the Skyscale, it's going up, Springer is like, doom, I'm here.
Yeah.
So that's the only difference really I see. It's like the Springer is meant for vertical movement, like quickly, and then the Skyscale is more for like all around traversal, but enough control. Yeah.
So
it's not. Yeah, what they say exactly? They said the Skyscale was designed to be a dragon your character could ride, whereas your other mounts have been designed around their movement first.
I'm definitely seeing this. Actually, Iceland is mentioning the Heart of Thorns maps. The Skyscale is going to be pretty crazy in like Verdant Brink and stuff.
Oh, I kind of just want to see like walls covered in players on their Skyscales, and then just covering a mountain path. Oh, it'd be so cool. I'm sorry, I have dreams.
Which, yeah, for people that don't know, that's their one like big feature is they got a wall cling, so they can basically fly onto vertical surfaces, and it can cling to the surface indefinitely. But I did see how chat was saying, and we were definitely going to mention it. It does not refill your endurance or if you have the mastery from previous ones, the bond of vigor that increases it. When that's on cooldown, it doesn't. It stops the cooldown on that as well, so you can't just wait.
Someone's gonna reenact Avatar from Entangled Depths. Oh, that'd be so cool. Let's have a bunch of blue Silvari on Skyscales, just ready to pounce on the. Oh, that'd be so cool.
The engage skill creates a fire combo field. That's pretty cool.
That is the first time. Actually, wait. I think the Springer does a blast finisher.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not the first time we've had any kind of combo action coming from a mount. So
yeah.
But yeah, some of the masteries, you're gonna need a total of 12 POF mastery points, which will bring the mastery level to 295. But Mastery 1, Air Rescue, basically allows the character to mount the Skyscale midair, just kind of like the Griffin. Mastery 2 is Rift Repair, which with the episode update, it seems like that's going to be the map mechanic, but they said that they're actually going to put it on other maps when they kind of showed it off. I think because they did the demo in Desert Highlands, I believe. So there was no spoilers for the map itself, so if you are trying to avoid story spoilers, I think this guild chat is still pretty safe to watch. But yeah, the rift repair thing, basically, you'll see like a little rift thing hovering in the sky. Flying through these nodes will replenish the Skyscale's flight juice, thus allowing it to exceed the original flight canopy, but it will quickly make you kind of return to it when you're done with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the 3, which is the wall launch, which when you're clinging to a wall, you can hold down the jump key to replenish flight juice at the cost of endurance, and releasing it will jump releasing jump will launch the Skyscale off the wall and allow it to fly further outside the original flight canopy, but it is unchanged. So the area that you can normally fly in. So you do have to keep that in mind. The only way to reset the flight canopy, as they like to call it, is by literally landing on on regular horizontal ground. So you can't be vertical clinging to a wall.
Actually, I was incorrect. None of the mounts have any combo finishers.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Maybe it's
or at least
because
it's not on the wiki.
I'll say if it's not, then the bunny you use it. I know for
It has a knockdown.
CC. Yeah. Bummer. But yeah, overall, what do you guys think of the Springer with wings mount, the Skyscale?
I think it's more unique than that, than to classify it as a Springer with wings, but I like it. It seems that they've thought a lot about the potential for abuse for the Skyscale, and it looks like they've done a pretty good job with maintaining the mechanics for it. So I'm looking forward to messing with it.
Yeah, has a lot of potential, especially like just like doing group fun things. And just you can AFK in the air, I guess. So that's not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all.
Well, yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully there'll be more information coming out. Maybe a little bit of story hinting to get people even more hyped up, or maybe it will drop the 7th. Doubtful, but who knows? That is in May.
That would be weird.
We can only hope. But you know, I'm a little hurt. You know, last week I wasn't here. I did watch the show on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/MAADrealms. Shameless plug. But I remember at the very end, people were saying like, "Oh, you forgot about World Boss Week," and then Age says, "Well, Deo must have not, must have left it out, so blame him." Which, funny enough, that was only mentioned in Datamine stuff. And as a reminder, everybody, we don't cover the Datamine stuff, at least on the live show.
So there you go.
So sorry, everybody, for keeping quality content.
I'm sorry, Deo. I should always trust you.
But yeah, this coming up week will be World Boss Week. And it is from May 6th to May 13th. You'll actually get a bonus box of goods from every world boss you participate in defeating. There's a rare chance for these to contain especially shiny items like cosmetic infusions and invisible footwear. Ooh.
You know that the invisible, I think it would like cost like 4K, like just the invisible stuff. So yeah.
I remember trying to go after some of those, like, what was it, Hearthorns? You'd have to get the invisible mushroom, or the things that drop the invisible mushrooms or something.
Yeah.
Like, they had a chance of dropping the shoes or, ugh.
I'm just going to double check that pricing, but chance for invisible footwear? I don't know if I'd want it. Do you guys want invisible shoes?
I mean, might as well.
I don't know. I think I would sell mine because 4K is a lot. That's 2 legendaries right there.
It's a rare skin, man.
It's super rare.
Gotta have, yeah. Like Inks is right.
That was the same
value, man.
I don't know.
Oh boy, Wiki Feed, here we come.
I'd have to. I guess
who's trying to get on Wiki Feed confirmed.
If I ever got any, I guess I'd think about it. But
that is a good point. If it's going for 4K and it doesn't drop plentiful, like basically destroys that price.
Yeah,
that would be tempting because that greatsword does look pretty cool. That we just saw.
Yeah. So invisible slippers, invisible stompers, there's only 3 of each in the market, and they each are well around 4,200 gold. So, yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah, I do imagine it'll affect the price some, but I'm wondering if it'll go the route of like how, you know, we had some expensive dies and then we got the birthday boosters that were like, just pick a die, and it had some of the rare ones, and it's like, there went those prices. So I don't think they'll do that, but that's the one reason why I wouldn't. If it's like by the time I get it to drop, it'd be like, yeah, it's selling for 3 gold. I'm like,
It depends on the drop rate.
Yeah.
If it's terrible and like one person every week gets one, then yeah, the price will probably go down like maybe 100 gold if anything.
I can't see it dropping more than like 2.
Actually, like, no, 1 a week would be like the entire event. I'd be like 50 people out of the entire week got it.
Yeah, if it's temporary, it'll be temporary. It'll only dip a little bit until, you know, scarcity comes back in.
Not necessarily, because the event could come back. Because it depends on the recovery of the dip and how frequently they're going to add this event, or even put this reward in other events too. So, but yeah, there's a lot of factors. I don't think it'll drop under 3K. So,
but they actually on the forums, I think it was Arenio, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Arenio, who was talking on the forums about future events, and they were talking about the second event that they have planned, which is a meta event rush, which he said that will start a few weeks after the World Boss Week. During the meta event rush week, their intentions are to remove the daily cap on all world meta event completion rewards and to reward additional loot for some of the meta events, to pair with some improvements to the Path of Fire map metas, which I like the sound of that as well.
I think you might be right about the 14th then, because I thought this event would be, if it's a few weeks after the World Boss event, doesn't make sense to do it this month unless it's like the last week. Huh. That's gonna be a good week, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see those like a lot of the maps like packed at the timers again. Like that would be nice to see. You kind of only see it like for the first go around, and then it's like you have one to get into.
That'd be fun.
Wish they would remove the daily cap on provisioner tokens.
If they did that, then the price for weapons would be fluctuating all over the place. Sadly,
but
that's never going to happen.
Well, never say never. They do go on to say that they want to talk about future iterations, and like ideas they were getting from the forums. Which let me link that in chat, and if you're watching this on YouTube, we'll have the link in the description. But in case you guys have ideas, if you want to check it out yourself, you know, definitely let your voice be heard. But they were saying future iterations in discussion were no daily limit on world boss loot, rare harvesting nodes spawn after world boss kill, community goals and rewards, collections and meta achievements with titles. Ooh, titles.
That last one might be a little tricky. I know people get a little unnerved that they missed it and they couldn't get their title.
That no one ever notices.
Yeah, but they still complain.
I know.
Rare harvesting
one of those people.
Yeah, rare harvesting node spawns after world boss kills is actually pretty cool.
That would be
awesome. I like that idea. Community goals and rewards, that'd be also kind of neat. It's just because like if you put on Twitter, hey, if you guys kill like X amount of bosses, we'll do this, or you know, and just have everyone work on it. Daily limit on world boss is also like removing that is also fun, which is what they're gonna do for meta rush.
Well, and like chat's already kind of coming up with ideas for different types of weeks, because a lot of people are liking this because it kind of like is like a nod back to like Guild Wars 1, how they had like bonus weekends. type thing, so it kind of feels a little bit like that. But they did say there was a
bounties.
what? Oh,
Zaishin
we do.
bounties.
I would say we do have bounties. It's just
Not those. You know what I'm talking. Dale, you
Yeah,
know
I
what I'm
know.
talking about.
But how are we gonna have the Zaishin bounties?
Well, we have to call them something else, obviously, but
We just call them bounties now.
no, we would call them. We call them world boss bounties, I guess.
Call them packed bounties.
There you go.
And,
That works.
and yeah,
The pact does
one thing
still
that they.
exist.
That's one thing, like Chad is saying, it kind of goes into clarification on the bonus events. The bonus events won't always guarantee bonus economic rewards. They also want to be free to do things that shake up game modes substantially for a limited time, or to try potential system changes that may not have been possible otherwise. They were saying one such event is they're actually working on and finalizing, and they're interested to see how players react to it. So.
No downstate in PvE.
No test.
Oh man, that would be hilarious. I don't think they'll do that, but that would be hilarious.
Low gravity and jumping puzzles. Ah.
Yeah. I can see raid weeks, fractal weeks, dungeon weeks. I would like to see, but I doubt that. Well, actually, you know what? Maybe they could.
Low grav would make stepping stones either really easy or really hard, and I don't know which.
I think
the worst part is if you stand on the thing, it launches you.
Yeah, I think it'd be easier just because you can position your landing a lot better.
But the timing?
Oh yeah, the timing for the that's true. Oh man.
Some of the other clarifications they had before we keep bringing
Going
some
off on a
of the ideas up.
rant.
Yeah, the no daily cap for the meta event rush will not make the first release. So they were saying, yep. Unfortunately, they will not be able to make that change for this particular run of the event, which kind of hints at like what Age was saying. They're probably going to be doing it again.
That'd be really good. People would be farming hot maps like crazy.
Mm-hmm. But they did say it was planned as a bonus for potential future runs for the event. And they were just saying, the team working on the bonus event initiative is not a content creation team of the type outlined in the game director Mike Z's previous message about kind of after the layoffs and stuff. So, we don't have to worry about this is taking away from X thing that I enjoy stuff.
Exactly like that. But that's pretty cool. They're focusing on designing, creating events. That's pretty cool. In some cases we'll actually ship events along with releases.
Yeah. So see, it could happen. It could fall in one of these.
So I'm going back. It still could happen on the 21st. Okay. Potentially.
By the end of this episode, we're going to be having Age going, well, it could happen on the 7th, the 14th, the 21st, and 28th. I've limited it to those ones. I'm pretty sure it's going to be one of those.
I'm taking out the 7th, but the rest, yeah, possible.
Oh, okay.
I'm like
Arena, make it the 7th, please. It'd be hilarious.
I'm 80% in on the 21st. I'll say that.
Yeah, I think that's what they were kind of hinting at about fixing the POF loot as well, was like they were kind of relooking at the bounty systems, which I think, or the events in general, I think it was.
Yeah.
Which I think sorely needs, help.
But this kind of stuff I've been talking about for a while now. It's like during downtime of Living Story, people need something to do to stay in the game. If you want people to stay in the game, right? People want to stay, but if there's nothing to do, they'll play something else, right? So in order to keep people entertained, you have these different event weeks and stuff like that, and it works. You have current events, you have a bonus event week, you have something happening in World vs. World that may not be for everyone, but it's that one-off week is not the worst thing in the world. And then you have it's really nice to have someone to do like every 2 weeks. So
What if they do old school or turn up the Risen to 11 again?
oh boy, actually I didn't mind that too much. It's fun times. I think hot mobs are honestly the harder in my opinion.
I kind of like Magnus's idea of mistlock instabilities in PvE.
That would be pretty cool.
The birds.
Birds, fractal birds,
Oh, dear Lord.
social birds.
It's just different per map. So just, oh man, that actually could be pretty fun. Slippery slope on certain maps would be a pain though.
They got rid of slippery slope.
Oh yeah, I could bring it back.
Just for the it's just a PvE specific instability.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the instabilities they use, but
Ooh, make world bosses
no.
take agony. That would be a bit tricky, just because if you're a new player.
Oh God, Inks, let's not.
airplane mode weak and you can't turn off.
But I like the idea of affecting the overworld. Like I joked about it with like the whole like, oh, if the mists are kind of breaking down with all the stuff that was going on, like it could have been one way of them bringing back like some of the old like, world events that we've seen in the past. Since people were saying we wanted to find something to do between things, was like, oh, there's there's a instability or a time rift in Gandharan Fields where it's Scarlet's invasion again. If people wanted to experience that, or in was it Dredge Haunt or was it Lorna's Pass where the marionette is? Like maybe it's like, oh, there's there's a time instability there, so you can do the marionette fight.
Marionette is back. Oh God.
I like marionette,
but it's along those lines, just a smaller scale. But maybe it leads to something like that. Quaggan Week, no.
I like Quaggan
No.
Week. Let's do it.
I will not be in the game for that week.
Quaggan month.
Actually, hey, what are you trying to say? You don't want me in the game? Actually,
Yeah.
I'll have to just find every like. I wonder if Tavik, if he's still in chat, are you still doing your Tyrion base jumping society?
Oh man. You're shooting here, pew pew. Slow mo
Oh,
week
that's
of
amazing.
perma cripple if we Lord. Oh, that sounds like an instability.
Let's
Okay,
not let Inks anywhere near.
I was gonna say, yeah, Inks, could you please lose the link that I posted in there to the forum of suggestions for event weeks? Because, good God, are those some horrible ones? Slow mo week. Ugh.
I do like the quip noise week though.
I wouldn't mind Quip Noise Week. It would be annoying, but it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world because you could turn the sound off.
Oh, it would be a little bit of work to do since they wouldn't have the. But like, what if they did like, kind of like going off of like when Richie Procopio, Bog Otter for, like he would do the bad Foley work. What if they did like bad Foley of like, it would require them to redo all the stuff, but that would have been a fun thing where it's just like bad Foley of like all like the, maybe just the weapons or something, something. That would be a big undertaking if they did like every sound.
Yeah. Abaddon Appreciation Week.
I'm going off of what you said. Month, year.
Pause. Next topic before we get. This is your fault, Age. Next.
No, we're good.
Next.
We're staying here until this happens, Arena. It's on you.
Overruled. Next.
Butt Cape Week. Oh, jeez. Lots of scary ideas coming up in chat. Boy help us if they do that. But like we were kind of talking about, this kind of made people remind themselves of Guild Wars 1's bonus weekends and stuff like that. And well, luckily, if you're maybe at all interested in Guild Wars 1, or maybe you want to go after some of the skins in Guild Wars 1, or the Hall of Monuments in Guild Wars 1, so you can get skins in Guild Wars 2. They're having a 14th anniversary update, which includes a the Guild Wars games are all 50% off from now until May 7th. So time is ticking. You just have to go to store.guildwars.com. Also, the Augur of Cormyr costume is back, and there's a Guild Wars update, which they gave us a master volume slider, improved mouse movement, compass rotation locking, in-game clock, new windowed borderless mode, frame limiter option, and multiple bug fixes. So
the fact that
they're
they're still developing
updating
Guild Wars 1 stuff is just
Yeah.
ridiculous. Okay, maybe develop is a strong word, but they're still working on the game.
Yeah. Yeah. The compass rotation locking is actually one that's pretty good for the game, and the in-game clock is like something I've just never thought of. Like, Guild Wars 1 didn't have an in-game clock.
A lot of games didn't at the time.
Yeah, and Master
it just yelled at you after a couple hours, going, "Please go outside."
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's a master volume slider. Like I didn't think it's like it didn't have a master volume slider. What? All these things like we kind of take for granted in games nowadays. It's like and now that I think about it, I have not bought a single thing in Guild Wars 1 store.
Oh, I was just as bad as I am in Guild Wars 2, where I think I have like all the costumes, because you could mix and match the helmets and Trent. Maybe take some Guild Wars 1 stuff and update it into Guild Wars 2.
Yeah, because I legit I got the bonus mission pack from one of my bundles that I got, but otherwise, like, I have not gotten anything, like no character slots or anything like that. Now I think about it, it might be a good time to actually, get some slots, because I've never made a Necro or Mesmer in that game.
Yeah, I think one of the few things I didn't buy in there was because it was later on down the road, was the mercenary slots, which basically turned your other player characters on your account into heroes that you could take along with you. So
you can always adventure with just yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
Chad is saying.
Yeah,
I just never could pull the trigger on those. I was like, well, there's so many heroes already that I could just
you can upgrade
remake the build.
Yeah,
so you could literally run in a full party of just your player
own
characters.
Yeah. You bought that?
They have those, huh?
Yeah, like you bought the capability to have mercenaries, and mercenaries were your other characters, not just the other heroes you got in the game.
Can you give me an example? I think I'm
because you had the henchmen that you could get in an outpost, which are just like really dumb NPCs usually. The heroes you could have more control over and control their builds and whatnot.
Yeah. So like
the mercenary slots were literally your other characters.
Oh, okay.
Like you have Age Night Road as your main character, and then you can grab your Guardian Retreat.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
That'd be boss. Oh man, I killed so many people.
I like the idea, but I was like, it was so.
Because I have an AOE dervish. He does like 300 damage. All AOE. It's glorious.
He can always be there.
I always forget how different the damage numbers in Guild Wars 1 is.
300 was a lot. And you have the spirit weapon. You have the dervish spirit weapon. And then you have the AoE skills. You just pop them all. It's glorious. Good times.
Maybe add that to Guild Wars 2 for dungeons. Wow. I mean, it would be interesting. That would be one feature that are in some MMOs where you have like the henchman system.
I don't know.
They don't have AI for that.
Yeah, I was going to say that would be the only difficult thing that would be somewhat limiting, but
it's an interesting idea for sure, but I don't know how they.
Yeah, I was thinking like something like with SWOTOR, where you had someone that kind of walked along with you that would disappear at certain times, so it wasn't exploited. But
wow.
One Big Pair does bring up a novel idea. I mean, You could just take guildies with you.
Yeah. But in terms of Guild Wars 1 heroes, yeah, okay, so you have henchmen, heroes, and mercenaries. I didn't feel the need for mercenaries because like heroes I just spec'd out the way I wanted, and then there's like it'd be pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, that's how I felt, which I was like, because if you unlock a skill on another character, it unlocked for the account, so you could use it on any henchman, or hero. So it was like, I think it's just the novelty of like you're running with your whole crew or your group of characters, which I'm like, yeah, that is pretty cool. But
yeah,
Guild Wars 1 heroes were better than most players. Well, they have more magic at their disposal. It's not fair.
I've done more. I've actually cleared dungeons just with heroes. Just put them in the right spots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good times.
But kind of speaking of Guild Wars 1, they had they're having a little bit of a banning issue. There was a post on Reddit kind of pleading out to the Guild Wars 2 community to make it more of a known make it more of a known idea that this is happening, but apparently currently a bunch of people in Guild Wars 1 are getting wrongfully banned, and apparently submitting tickets is not giving any results due to the support team not looking into banned accounts, and supposedly no devs are checking the Guild Wars 1 Reddit page, so they were just basically trying to raise attention through the Guild Wars 2 Reddit. But
okay,
yeah, I was gonna say I kind of went to the Guild Wars 1 subreddit. I didn't really see too many devs talking or anything like that. I mean, I don't want it to make it sound like a negative, but it's like usually they only like, especially even in the Guild Wars 2 one, or if you go to other games, they only kind of talk when they have something to, say. Like, yeah, they're not doing idle chit chat.
Yeah, I don't know how much they're looking at the Guild Wars 1 Reddit, because it seems like every couple months, like every 5-6 months, they're putting out like small updates or big updates, and that's about it. That's about all the news we hear about Guild Wars 1, unless it's festivals, I guess. But it's interesting that there's a ban wave, especially recently. Was there anything? Oh yeah, they did put Guild Wars 1 on sale, so I guess that's could raise more bot issues. But yeah, hopefully they get it sorted out. I'm not sure what I would suggest in this case.
Yeah, I would say it's a tough thing because it's like I don't even know who you could really reach out to. Hopefully, them saying on Guild Wars 2, like maybe one of the devs of Guild Wars 2 sees it and can kind of relay the message to the people who are working on Guild Wars 1. Because yeah, it's like usually when you have an issue, it's like, oh, put in a ticket, but you can't put in a ticket to Guild Wars 2 about Guild Wars 1. That's not going to really help that much. But
yeah. So hopefully someone maybe from Guild Wars 2 sees this or sees that thread and can bring it to the right people for help people out.
And we'll have the link in the description of the Reddit post someone put in the Guild Wars 2 one, and hopefully that'll help people out if you know a better route to go. But it sounds like people are being a little desperate of I would be bummed if I lost access to my Guild Wars 1 account, because those are my friends. Those are my ancestors 250 years ago.
And you've got wings.
And the ability to jump. /jump.
I could not comprehend that. I played Guild Wars 1, and a friend of mine was like playing World of Warcraft, and he's just like, why would you play that? You can't even jump in that game. And I'm like, why does that matter?
It's so hard to go from Guild Wars 2 to Guild Wars 1, though.
It definitely is. They play like completely different games. I mean, especially like if you get all heroes in your party, it almost plays like a strategy game, because you can, like you were saying, you can position them at certain spots, fine tune their own builds like along with yours, like. But Or if you have a group of friends that are playing it, it kind of plays more like a older like MMO style game where you are locked into place when you're casting and all that stuff. But
I can't do that anymore.
it's tough to go back.
I can't, like, I tried playing Rift once after playing Guild Wars 2, and it's just like, nah.
That is like the most quotable thing I've ever heard about Rift. I played Rift once. That's it. But yeah, they couldn't cut it because they needed more people to spend money in their store, just like probably ArenaNet does.
Speaking of spending money,
yeah. How'd you know? Thank you always to Dolphin.net. Check out Dolphin.net so you can spend your gems more wisely. First up, for free, you can actually get the Heroic Booster till May 7th. So definitely just go into the gem store and pick that up for free. One per account, of course. But we talked about last week the exotic breed mount license in the bundled thing that we're going to talk about here shortly. But now you can actually get it if that's the only thing you want out of it, and that's what you want to get. You can actually pick it up here. You can see it here for, I believe it's 1,200 gems. 1,200 gems, and you can choose your favorite mount skin from the collection. And that's the select license, but you can also get the exotic breed mount adoption license, which you can randomly get one of those, but when you unlock one, you can't get duplicates, in case people aren't aware of the system here. But that you can go get those for 1 for 400 gems, 5 for 1,800 gems, or 15 for 5,100 gems. But that is a random guaranteed new skin. So
the best loot box available. The you can't get duplicates.
Yeah.
It's like you're eventually done with it.
Yeah, there is an end game to it. The chat's saying they forked out 50 and bought them all. Yeah, it's
this round of mounts is nice. I like these. I got the War Eternal supply drop, and I got the one of the Raptors. I think the one with like the skull.
Oh,
look!
I just saw it.
Yeah, that one. The masked runner, and then the Swift Paw Jackal skin. The one that looks like a fennec. Yeah, that's
it's yeah, that's what pairs kind of like going back to a little bit to the buying things. It's all about how you sell different items, and if they can eventually sell items like this and get a steady flow of income, then yeah, you don't really need X-Packs, but or pays for an X-Pack, whichever.
Yep.
And actually, in the long run, it would be better because if those updates are free, you know your entire player base has access to those things. Whereas right now, some people might not have POF. People that are new to the game might only bought the core game, and they're like, oh, I might get the Heart of Thorns or POF when I'm interested in it. If I'm interested in the game, which, that's good. If they are, then but yeah, that's kind of a nod to if everything was free or easier to obtain type thing. They know their player base has that stuff and can sell them the cosmetics.
We'll just wail for keys one day, and then that's it. That'll be my gem store contribution.
But yeah, you can definitely pick those up. Like we said, 1,200 gems for one license where you can pick one of these ones that you're seeing right now, or 400 gems for one, or 5 for 1,800, or 15 for 5,100 gems, and you randomly get one of these. But like we said, if you're new to Guild Wars 2, what's different from other games is once you unlock this mount, like the mount that you get, you cannot get a duplicate. So you're not going to ever feel bad about, like chat was saying, they just, bought enough for each of the mounts. You're done. You're good. You have them all. It's not like, oh, I just got all of this one Raptor one that I don't want. Like, great. What am I going to do? Like other games do. So.
Unless you could sell it on the gem store. Trading Post.
I don't think you can though.
Yeah, you can't. That's
Oh.
the thing. If you could, then it'd be okay, I guess. But
Yeah, it'd still feel crappy though, because then those would probably drop in price because people would probably just be undercutting people.
yeah, but I think the price would be high to start with.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
It'd probably be like the dies. I mean, but also, like I said, we talked about last week, but you can also get one of these random ones in this package coming up. Oh, go ahead.
You get a random one and a choosy one from week 1.
Oh, I thought it was it was either or.
You get both.
Oh, okay. But it is the War Eternal Supply Drop Requisition, and for this week, it is now 2,550 gems.
Mm-hmm.
So, like we said last week, you could have got it for 2,400 gems. If act quick, because what is it, May 7th, which will be this Tuesday, it is going up to 2,700 gems, which is still a 10% discount. But and do note that if you do buy during this week and spend the 2,550 gems, you do get the week 1 stuff. It's not like you're locked out of.
Oh, yeah, there it is. I forgot. Is like you get the select license for exotic breeds, and then you get a choice of a rando one from a bunch of different packs. So I chose my random one from the exotic breeds pack as well.
Oh,
okay.
Choice of desert race or distant lands, or is standing isles. Yeah. Or an exotic breeds. Okay.
But yeah, so you could, like we said, with week 1, you can get different choices at the different mount packs, the Alonian Adversaries die pack, a set of baby mount minis, and then week 2, which is what you're getting for this week if you act now, Black Line outfit voucher, Onyx and Gold Line weapon choice, 2 Black Line miniature claim tickets, and then when it rolls, basically you're subscribing into this, so when you go over to when May 7th hits, you'll automatically get the Black Line backpack and glider voucher, 5 Black Line statuettes, a communal boost bonfire, and 2 heroic boosters. And then once again, week 4 from May 14th to the 20th, 5 Black Line chest keys, a branded weapons select box, 2 guaranteed wardrobe unlocks. So you can definitely, so you can act now while it's still a pretty good deal, I would say.
I was thinking about it last week. I'm probably leaning towards not, because like just the amount I spend is not the amount that I necessarily want out of it. But I would say, like, if you want the licenses and you want the keys, the chest and the glider unlock and the wardrobe unlocks, I think it's well worth it. But for me, I don't need the licenses because I'm pretty good on my mount skins right now. So the only thing I'd probably go for is the keys and the voucher, the wardrobe unlocks, which doesn't kind of justify the price for me. So
yeah, it's I think week 1 is honestly just the 2 mount licenses. That's 1,600 gems right there.
Yeah.
So, and that doesn't, like, you've got the 5 keys, the backpack is another 700. So
yeah, it really is a good bundle if you want like all the majority things in that bundle. Yeah. I would say definitely go for it if you want the major things in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like we said, if you order it before May 7th, it is basically at a 15% discount. After the 7th, it'll be a 10% discount. And then after the 14th, it's basically how the bundle is at, the desired price tag. But, yeah, I mean, and we were kind of talking about, at the beginning of the show, was like, do you think this is a good strategy, or them testing the waters of a small scale subscription type thing? Like, because this basically covers them for the month. Maybe then they'll have one for the next month. And
Well, I said I would do a Guild Wars 2 subscription if they offered one.
To be honest, if they keep doing these supply drops like this, I think it's a decent opt-in. Like if it's just, hey, here's the new supply drop, and they do it say every 5 weeks, like with a week off in between, or like 2 weeks off in between. It's like they pack it full of good stuff, and they're like, oh yeah, this is the supply drop for this set. Do you want it? Discount,
Cool.
discount, discount, full price.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, what does 2,400 gems come out to? That's
25 bucks.
25? Yeah.
25 bucks.
So, I mean, that's more than most subscriptions out there, which
30,
kudos to them
sorry.
because 30. So
it's not like you'd buy the bundle every time too. So
it's like because 10.
If you were so inclined to, it would. I'm just saying as something that would supplement or a subscription style thing. But yeah.
It's more like you drop it every now and then if you like all the things in there. Just so it's like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, form of fundraising for an episode. I think it's a nice way to promote an episode as well. So
well, some returning stuff. We have the All or Nothing appearance package for 2,000 gems, which has Logan's Pack Marshal outfit, Onyx and Gold line weapon choice, Case Crystal Bloom sword, 5 Kralkatork die kits, and a total makeover kit. You can get Case Bloom dagger for 600 gems, Case Crystal Bloom sword for 600 gems, the Enchanted Dragon Crown package for 500 gems, the Infinite Volatile Magic Gathering tools, a whole set for 2,700 gems, the World Boss Portal device just in time for 320 gems, 20% off. Living World Season 2 complete pack is 896 gems, 30% off. And also the Living World Season 3 complete pack is 672 gems at 30% off. And that should scale if you do have a couple unlocked, correct? Like that's usually how that bundle works. Okay. So if you do have to play some catch up, it is a good time to do it. Any thoughts on like you should definitely pick one of those returning things up?
Volatile Magic Gathering tools are always good in my opinion. I got them the second time around. A World Boss Portal device might be useful for boss week. I'm not sure, but it's up to you. That's all I got. If you like the Kate's weapons, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you need the episodes.
Yeah, I would say if you don't have Living World Season 2 or 3, definitely pick them up. I mean, I think it's well worth it story-wise alone, personally, but I mean, was it season 3? Yeah, that has what we were talking about earlier, the legendary trinket.
Yeah.
And just the maps were pretty good in a general sense.
So pretty solid stuff from that, but any other thoughts on the gem store in general?
Solid offerings.
Mm-hmm. Last up, we have Community Corner. And first up in Community Corner, we have the, once again, UGO 5v5 Core PvP tournament. Jebro is putting on, and you can find that at twitch.tv/JebroUnity. It will be taking place tomorrow if you're watching this on YouTube. It probably already happened, actually, looking at the time. So you might be able to catch the rerun, or I don't know how long it's going to last, but it is May 5th from 2 p.m. GMT, 3 p.m. BST, 4 p.m. CEST, 7 a.m. Pacific Time, and 10 a.m. Eastern. It is core builds only and 5v5 conquest, double elimination tournament. Revenants will be playable, but without specializations, which is basically Herald and Renegade. And they said no class stacking is allowed. For Rangers, you can only use the core pets, no hot or POF ones. But you know what's at stake. First place is getting 65% of the cash prize pool. Second place will be getting 35% of the cash prize pool, and third place will receive 500 gold. So, are you guys? I'm genuinely intrigued to check out like I don't know. It's kind of like that little bit of like WoW vanilla. Like it's like the vanilla, like the core.
It'll be interesting to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, especially with ref changes.
Yeah, that's gonna be the most interesting thing because they got some nice core updates to themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, so definitely check that out. The European Guild vs Guild tournament Battle of the Mists is also happening. Hosted by Battle Efficiency and sponsored by ArenaNet. More than 24,000 gems and gem prizes. First team will receive 1,200 gems, and that's 15 times, so out for the 15 members. Second team will receive 400 gems, which is for each 15 members. And several 400 gem codes that will be randomly given away to the tournament contestants. Third place will also receive a gold prize, and the tournament will be starting on May 9th. And they say to sign up, send a mail to zeroki.gw2@gmail.com. If you want any of this information, we'll always link the Reddit post in the description, but definitely check that out. So, any thoughts on that?
Oh, it's a GVG tournament again, so it's nice.
I'm hoping they don't get assholes doing things that I worry about.
Like messing with it? Yeah, hopefully not. But also we have the MS Toga Party 2019. It is an online charity event hosted by the Gamers Giving Back. Learn about multiple sclerosis, learn how you can support loved ones, and participate for a chance at some pretty cool prizes. It will happen on May 11th, 2019 at 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. CDT. It is both EU and NA servers in Guild Wars 2. And they say if you're not aware, keep an eye out in the LFG channels, or join by connecting to one of the hosts' voice platforms, where they'll help you get into the right maps. So they do say some of their activities that they have planned are balloon brawl, tonic races, fashion wars, and some scavenger hunts. So yeah, and like Chat's saying, it's a great event. Like they've done this, for
10 years ish.
Yeah, I was gonna say as long as I can remember. But yeah, I know. Oh, and Chat's saying they know Ian is streaming it. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be lots of people streaming it. So definitely check it out May 11th. Whether it's in person or on a streamer's stream. But any other thoughts on that?
Oh, cool event.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
Well, that looks like that is it for this week. Jim, where can they find you?
I can be found on Twitter at MelThanisMMO. You can also find me here on twitch.tv/MAAD Realms. That's 2 A's in the MAAD every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, usually, and random other times doing random other things, and also being completely covered in white cat hair. Jesus. Hope to see you all in other times. Just Twitter, I'll tweet out about when I'm streaming if it's one of the random times. But
are we doing Vote to Kick this
Yes.
Wednesday? So, okay,
yeah, I'll have
cool.
Deo on. Can you not bump my microphone, please? Thank you.
No.
What are we talking about? I can't remember. We'll figure it out. Show up live.
Yeah, cliffhanger, because we definitely didn't both forget. Age, where can they find you?
Find me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at Age Night Road. Apparently, I'll be fighting for the dark side, at least for today. May the 4th be with you. Not much coming up. I might stream tomorrow because I'm going to see Endgame. And I kind of have this idea I need to think about it, but we'll see how it goes. All right. That's all I got for now.
Awesome. And you found me at simply_Deo on Twitch and Twitter. And I did have plans on streaming this week, but boy, did everything fall apart. Ouch. Chat. Vote to keep. Keep or kick. Vote to kick. Ouch. That hurts. But yeah. If you are just popping the very end, stick around. We do a bit of an after show where we talk about general gaming stuff, or even continue some of the stuff that we were talking about here that we had to cut for time because this is already getting near 2 hours. But yeah, if we do highlight it on Twitch, just twitch.tv/MAAD Realms, 2 A's in the MAAD. But if you prefer YouTube, we put it up on YouTube at youtube.com/MAAD Realms. That will go up on Sundays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. And if you want an audio version, I know people have always asked for that. We have our own website, maadrealms.com. And that's 2 A's in the MAAD, of course. And that's where we kind of put the audio version of this podcast, and it's kind of like a nice hub for all the videos. And yeah, so definitely check that out, and we'll see everybody. I think we mentioned everything correctly. I'm out of it. I've been gone a week. But yeah, we'll see everybody next time, and in the game. Maybe War Eternal will be the 7th. Who knows?